Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon. Good to talk to you again, sir.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
Explain what it is you want to know about this bill.
Keith, first of all, I subscribe to the quaint idea that a member of Congress should be able to know how a law that's on the books is actually working before it sets about to the task of reauthorizing it or moving ahead with it again. And that's certainly the case with two of these intelligence laws. First, with respect to the Patriot Act, my concern is there is a growing gap between what Americans believe the law actually is and the secret interpretation. And then with respect to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act amendments, I think it's extremely important that we recognize that this law was intended to deal with foreigners. We were concerned about foreigners who represent real threats to our country's security, and I'm concerned about the possibility, we can't confirm this because we can't get the facts, of innocent Americans having their communications swept up under it.
So what are you doing about it? What do you hope to accomplish with the hold? What do you think you can get out of it in exchange for releasing the hold?
Mark Udall and I, he's also a member of the Intelligence Committee, have sought to address two concerns in the reauthorization. The first is we believe it ought to be possible to see how many innocent Americans, innocent law-abiding Americans, are having their communications swept up under the FISA law. And we offered an amendment to have an audit, in effect, done. We lost it narrowly, but we're going to continue to press our case. The other deals with this question of secret law, and we're very troubled about the fact that there really are repercussions about this gap between what is done in terms of the interpretations in secret as compared to the law that's on the books. It's going to undermine public confidence in these laws because when people find out all the facts, they're going to walk away and say their government isn't straight with us.
Are you concerned at all that that this law is brought up for extension now when it doesn't expire until the end of next year? It seems like they've worked against the deadline in the past rather than a year and 5 months prematurely. What's that all about?
Well, first of all, it does not have to be reauthorized now. There's 18 months. I'm one who believes that we ought to use that time to find the facts. Now, certainly, any administration always pushes to go as far as they can with respect to moving quickly in this area. Look, I understand that we ought to be striking a balance between fighting terror aggressively and protecting liberty. Ben Franklin said that anybody who doesn't recognize the importance of liberty really doesn't deserve security. We can have both in this country. Let's take the time to get the facts, and that's what I and Senator Udall have been pushing for.
Is this administration any more responsible with what it might be gleaning domestically from FISA or than the last one, or don't you know?
I had hoped that there would be more progress in the last 2.5 years. I do believe that the fight that Senator Udall and I are making in the committee, that we made on the floor with respect to the Patriot Act, I believe it's going to pay off because I think the country will see what's at stake here, and we can do a better job of striking that balance. We've always had a constitutional teeter-totter in this country, and striking a balance between the security of all of us and individual liberty. I think we have to be more sensitive to these questions of individual freedom, particularly as people start thinking about the consequences of the prospect of having their cell phone be used to track their movements.